All right, so welcome back to Actually You Know What, where we have decided to turn our wine nights into content. Joining me tonight is my beautiful co-host, Mallory. Mal, how are you feeling tonight?
Hey! I'm feeling great. We've already maybe recorded one before this, so we're...
That's a lie.
We've had some wine before this, and we're continuing on that, so I'm feeling great.
Listen, we've only had half a bottle. It's not even that we haven't even consumed a whole bottle yet, so I think we're fine.
We're good.
Yeah, we're fine. Earlier today, actually, Mal and I were kind of discussing different ideas for the podcast and intros and outros and a bunch of other stuff because we did record this before the launch day, obviously, surprise. And we were talking about K-pop bands. Mm. We kind of got into a whole discussion about how beautiful everybody is in those K-pop bands. And we started talking about Stray Kids and how I'm in love with everyone.
They're like unworldly beautiful. Like, how can humans like that exist? I was telling her, I feel like they are a mythical breed of creatures or humans or whatever you want to call them that almost we don't deserve. They're just so beautiful.
I remember the first time that I saw the Maniac video by Stray Kids, and I know I'm going to botch his name. His name is like Yoonjin. The red-haired one. In that video, I remember watching him dance and being like, I'm never going to see anybody as beautiful as this human being. What do I do from here? How, like, what?
As a single woman, I'm not a single woman, but if I put myself in Steggy's shoes, I don't know how I even go about dating now.
How am I supposed to?
These people exist, and, like, how?
It makes no sense to me. And, like, I know I have friends and family that, like, don't necessarily understand that, and I'm like, they're so pretty,
right?
They're just so pretty. They look like anime characters come to life.
I feel like they almost transcend gender also.
I mean, yeah, beautiful.
They're just beautiful, creatures.
I'm not even thinking about like what's going on underneath the clothing.
No.
All I'm thinking about is like, oh my god, you are so pretty.
Right.
Let me kiss that face.
Right. I just want to.
Let me just go out in public with you.
I want to be on you.
Yeah, let me just like go shopping with you.
Right.
Let me just show people that I'm with you and near you.
Hold your hand.
I literally just want to be seen with you. Like, let me be seen with you for a little bit. And there is no universe where you're seeing anybody like that on any sort of dating app. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that beautiful on it. That wasn't a bot, by the way, because that's a thing now.
Yeah, I'm sure they steal photos and make profiles.
Yeah. Which is a thing that I didn't really realize until the last couple of years, that like apparently on these dating apps, bots are a thing.
Bots are everywhere now. And it's
Dude,
rude.
everywhere.
It's rude.
It's disgusting. I'm like, every time I see like a halfway decent looking person and they're not verified, I'm like, so you're a bot.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. 6, you're a bot.
It's like, you're going to break down my hopes and dreams in every aspect of my life, and then you're going to do it on a dating app? Like,
disgusting. You know where you can see K-pop looking folks, though, is on Dead by Daylight.
Oh, yeah. That's like honestly, that's like my origin. Like, I was into anime a little bit, because my husband's into it a little bit, and Steggy is, and I got into some, light watching of some stuff here and there. But we were heavy into Dead by Daylight when we first, when COVID first started hit. Like, that was kind of the first game we really got into as a friend group. And that, when they released, the character is called the Trickster, by the way, which I don't really understand that name, but whatever. But he is a sexy,
beautiful man
character who, murderous, which also
kind
of turns me on a little
Another
bit.
plus. He's gonna murder me too.
Right.
Even better.
I know. He's gonna tie me up and okay. Anyway,
whoa, relax. Somebody fan the girl.
But yeah, that intro when they released that character was like, it was too good to be on Dead by Daylight. Like, it didn't belong almost. It was like, what's happening? And then I started getting really into the K-pop scene and the music and just the beautifulness that it all encompasses. And then we got it into Beat Saber.
Beat Saber. Dude.
Yeah, Beat Saber. And there's some good bops on there. I wish they had Stray Kids on Beat Saber.
I've been advocating for Stray Kids to be on Beat Saber for so long. And
we were so into it.
Every time I turn on my the VR, I'm like, okay, maybe today's the day.
Right.
Without doing any research, by the way.
Right. You're just like...
I just hope for it.
Putting on the headset. Like,
yeah.
maybe this is... No. But Beat Saber, first of all, love that game.
So fun, dude.
I've not done it in a while, and I need to get into it again. I was, like, really good at it at some point.
There was a point in time where I could not beat any of your scores.
I know.
And I was like, I'm getting mad. And I'm not a competitive person. So I was like, this is kind of pissing me off.
Yeah. And I got out of it because when I was pregnant, it was just, like, way too... Like, there's some... I don't know how many people that are listening have actually played this game before. And it's a pretty physical game. Like, if you... Because we were at the expert level at this point. Not to brag.
All right, relax. No, wait, I was in the expert level.
You are too. Shut up. But, yeah. So, at some point, the levels go, like, easy, whatever. And then there's hard and there's expert. And hard, at some point, it got kind of boring because it wasn't on beat. Like... The way you like
it skips some beats.
Right. The way you move the sabers, it wasn't like on beat. So I was like, this isn't working anymore. So we went up to expert and we both liked that the best. So we were both pretty good at expert. But then, just being pregnant and like there's some points where you have to like bend down to like avoid walls and stuff. I'm like, I can't do that anymore. I'm pregnant. I'm with child.
Mal's at the hospital. Like, I can't do this song, guys.
I know. It sucked though. So ever since then, I haven't got back into it too much, but dude, so the main like K-pop they have on there is BTS which is like arguably the begin like where it all started, right? Or like the mainstream K-pop.
I'm not sure. I just know that when I hear BTS, I think of Origins,
right? Like, and that's like
I don't know
one
if
of
that's
the first,
true. Yeah.
Well, at least one of the first bands that I've heard of, like coming overseas and like getting popular in America and stuff, but. God, it's just like the music's so good, the choreography is amazing, the way they look is like freaking breathtaking,
beautiful, and so coordinated, and just so like a boy band times 1,000.
Right? It's like, how is this allowed to exist in a world where stinky boys exist? Live.
How am I supposed to like swipe left on Joe Schmo when Yoonjin exists? A world where Felix exists with his voice that is 1,000 octaves below what a normal voice should be. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And every time I watch one of those videos, I was telling Mel earlier that sometimes I just watch Stray Kids to feel something because these apps are not doing it. These dating apps are just not. They're just not doing it for me. And that's another thing that we wanted to talk about today was, even though Mal is not in the dating app atmosphere, I very much am. And boy, does she know all about it because of me.
Honestly, as much as I'm happy I'm not in that scene, I do like when I'm included in seeing what she has to swipe on and giving opinions. Like, yeah, totally swipe on that or get rid of that right away. Never show that to me again. Because... It's honestly kind of fun, like it's it's fun in some ways and it's got to be hard in other ways, but
you have to make it fun. Otherwise it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's so bad out there because even when you do swipe right and you match and you start talking, the way that nobody has a personality.
Oh yeah.
Or the way that you start seeing these red flags right away.
Right.
And that's something.
It's one thing to be like generally not 100% attractive, or obviously no one's going to touch a K-pop guy, but you don't have to be 100% attractive, but like be like normal.
Be normal.
Or be like somewhat
fill out your profile.
It's fun to have fill out your profile.
Fill out your profile.
Be interesting.
Instead of the prompt, instead of like selecting still figuring it out, figure it out.
Right, figure it out.
Here's an idea.
Know how to have a conversation.
Be normal.
No one's normal anymore.
Yeah, it's been a very it's the range. It goes from having zero personality and not really talking to talking way too much. And Mel has seen it firsthand.
Yeah, there was an instance recently that I'm sure Stephanie will dive more into in a second.
For sure, at some point in the future.
But dude, this kid was
having conversations with
low-key
himself.
kind of crazy. Like I was like, if you don't block him from your life right now, I'm concerned for your safety.
This person was having conversations with themselves in my text message inbox.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't looked at my phone for an hour and a half.
Right. Because she was hanging out with her family. Oh, yeah. God forbid.
It was insane. It got so crazy. And it's just getting so bad now that, and I think this kind of ties into what we've talked about before, where I've dated a lot and I've had a lot of different kinds of relationships and everything. So that now when I see certain red flags, I see them now. Whereas before I was like, well, you know, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And now I think Mal is hearing me go, yeah, no, I've seen this before. I'm not doing this again.
Right.
And it's something that I've noticed in myself too. And I think I'm really proud of myself for that. And I've been trying to be more proud of myself for things like that, noticing those kinds of things. But it's difficult to recognize them sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, am I being cynical or am I being realistic?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line, because it's got to be hard not to become cynical in the dating atmosphere right now. You know, it's not only a telling of the times, because the times are different now, where, you know, there's not as much social space for, you know, people in general, but especially people in your mid to late 30s. Like, where do you go to meet people? Like, there's just really not a place for that anymore. So put that on top of just like the weird people that go on these apps, and it's hard not to get cynical. But I think for the most part, from what I've seen, I think it's been mostly healthy. I think a couple times I've encouraged you to give it a chance, just because like someone said something a little bit off, or if someone's like, maybe they have one little thing about them that really bothers you, but it's not like a terrible character flaw. It's just like a little thing that bothers you. Yeah. That's one thing, because everyone has something annoying about them. Like, I'm sure I have some things that annoy other people, and, you know, vice versa. So I don't think that's like a deal breaker, but I feel like for the most part, you've done a good job discerning, like, okay, this is not it, because this is a red flag, or this is just like, he's annoying me and I want to vent about it and then I'm fine. Like that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's been definitely a fine line between this person is being weird and I just want to talk about it really quick, versus, dude, this is a red flag if I've ever seen one. And that's something that I think comes from all the experience that I've had and just dating and, you know, seeing these patterns over and over again. And I think I'm trying to think of like what the biggest red flags for me are. And I think the biggest red flag for me right off the bat when it comes to dating, like on these dating apps, is seeing that the photos are like 1,000 years old. Because why am I seeing like a Valencia filter?
Right, an XX Pro Valencia. I want to look tan.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what is this?
Yeah, the old photos where, okay, we all have old photos of ourselves from MySpace or, you know, early Facebook years.
Early Instagram.
Right, but like...
why is that your profile
right,
photo?
Like, does that mean... either means two things. One, you got fucking ugly. Or two, you don't go out and do anything or take photos anymore. And both are kind of sad.
Like, both are a red flag to me. Because one, I think it's super weird that if you don't have any photos of yourself recently, at least in the last few years. I know all of my photos are very recent, within like the last year, maybe year and a half. And I don't think I've changed that much in a year and a half.
No.
But I think that it's bizarre, because to me, if you're posting a photo of yourself from like 10 years ago, which has happened to me.
Yes. I can confirm.
Yeah, can confirm that the last actually couple of guys have been somebody that, you know, they've had photos of themselves from like 10, 12 years ago.
One time recently, I saw a photo of what the profile was, and then she sent me a photo that he sent to her personally, and he had like 1,000 gray hairs, and I was like, whoa.
Which has happened multiple times.
The time jump is wild.
Yeah, and that's happened multiple times.
Which gray hairs are fine. I'm not saying gray hairs
we love gray hairs.
But I'm just saying, like, that is clearly years and years have gone by since you've put up a recent photo of yourself on these dating apps. Like, it's not honest, honestly.
Right, and my biggest thing is that you are posting a very old photo of yourself. So that, to me, tells me that you are not comfortable with the way that you look right now. you are probably insecure about the way that you look right now. And if that's the case, I don't think that I much want to deal with that. I don't think I want to deal with somebody who doesn't
Right.
like the way that they look right now.
Right. If that's like something you're insecure about, then
Yeah.
there's got to be other deep-seated
Exactly.
insecurities that you don't need to like help heal them with.
Right.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
not here for that. I'm not here
No.
to heal you guys anymore. I
No.
did my time. I've healed plenty of you.
Yeah.
I'm done.
She's healed herself. She's tried healing other people, and she's done.
And I've hung up my healing touch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm done. I'm retired. I can't heal any more of
She
you guys.
deserves to be retired.
Yeah, I dated somebody who had a photo from themselves of like 12 years ago, and I remember thinking like, that's not what you look like. And I mean, I still because I got to know them as a person, they're really cool and everything like that, but it was a weird thing, and they tried to make it a real point to say how much they didn't care about how much they were aging and how natural is the way to go and everything. And it's like, well, why didn't you have a photo of yourself that's recent then?
Right.
Why are you like spewing this on me as if I'm the one that had a photo for myself from when I was 27 years old? Imagine right now, Mal, if I had a photo of myself from when I was 27 and then I showed up. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And you didn't look better or worse than you did.
I look very different.
You just look different.
Yeah, I just
look
look different.
And I think in some ways you even look better.
Personally, I think I look much better
than you did.
I don't have that eyebrow blindness anymore.
Oh yeah, the eyebrow blindness,
the makeup blindness,
of the late 2010s
Personally,
or whatever.
I think that I look way better now than I did when I was at age 27. However, I can like recognize that I was obviously a lot younger.
Right.
But
your skin's a little younger.
Crazy.
Yeah.
To be like, well, I'm going to post a photo of myself from a decade ago.
No.
Plus. And like, what do you mean?
Right.
That's insane.
It's not honest, like I said. It's
right.
just it's like this is the first lie you're telling me already.
Right off the bat? What do you mean? That's
Right.
crazy. So that's, I think, my number one red flag is when somebody very obviously uses a photo of themselves that's very, very old.
So just to be clear, we're talking about red flags as in the first
glance,
the
dating
first
app.
thing
Yeah.
you see, not
first thing that I'm seeing.
not like
yeah.
deep into a relationship red
yeah,
flags. Okay,
no,
we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But no, right off the bat, like when I go on these dating apps and I'm swiping through, the first thing is that I'm like, okay, well, these 5 photos of you are from obviously 2006.
Right.
And this one photo of you is from maybe the last 5 years.
Right.
And you look very different. Why don't you have any other photos? Because like you mentioned earlier, that means that you haven't done anything in the last 5
Right.
years that is or that's worth you taking photos of.
Right.
Do you
And I
not
get
have
it.
people in your life that
I
are
get
taking
it
photos?
in some ways. COVID was really hard on a lot of us.
Sure.
And social things broke down. But like, I know from my point of view, I am married. Like, for lack of better words, I'm settled down.
Yeah.
And I was settled down when COVID happened. But I found it within myself to go out and do things and
crazy
experience social events and take photos
Right.
since COVID.
Well, and also, I'm sorry, but take a selfie, brother.
Right.
What do you mean?
Although some of the selfies are kind of red flags too.
And you
Let's
know what? Some selfies are so bad. But you know what, brother? Learn to take one.
Right.
I mean, or take one and post something on your profile that says, most recent selfie from a month ago. I
Right.
suck at selfies. Help me take one.
Right. I'm sorry I suck at them.
Yeah.
Help me learn.
Help me learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can teach me how to take a better selfie.
And that would honestly be endearing.
That would be so, like, yeah, I would find that to be so darling.
Right.
If a guy was like, help me take a new one because I suck at this. I'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I will help you.
We're literally giving you the playbook, guys.
I
Like, come on.
mean, these are the cheat codes.
Right.
Like, it's a very simple thing, I think. And it's bizarre. I think it's so bizarre.
Can I add a red flag? I'm not in the
course.
dating world, but I
No.
feel like a red flag from what I've seen, and I did swipe back in the day. This is like the early
Roy's
days of
listening.
Tinder. Yeah.
He's like, what?
Yeah, well, there was a time me and my now husband, we were like on again, off again for the beginning of a relationship. So one of our off situations was I decided to delve into Tinder a little bit. And this was like the early days of Tinder, right? When it wasn't quite what it is today. But there's a few red flags I picked up on that. And I know a lot of those still kind of translate to today. But one of them is when all the photos are with other people and pointedly women. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe it's a sister, maybe it's an ex, but why?
Why are those the only photos you
Why
have?
is that a photo you decide to put on a dating profile?
The worst is when they put a photo of themselves with that person and then they put like an emoji over their face.
Oh.
And I'm like, cool, thanks.
Right.
That's what I care about, is what her face looks like.
It's just like, it's weird. It's like, okay. And then like, or it's like a big group of guys and like all the photos are with other guys. Like, which one are you?
Which one are you? And I know you're the ugly one.
Yeah, they're like trying to keep you guessing, and
like,
you're trying to find the common denominator
I know
between
for a
each
fact
photo.
you're not the tall, handsome one. That's for sure. So which one are you, brother? It's like circle your face. Circle your face. I want to see it.
But yeah,
it's always that.
With the women, it's like I said, it's like, okay, maybe your sister, but like you don't have any photos of just you or
your sister couldn't take a photo of you,
right,
by yourself.
Right. I don't know. That's like a weird. Maybe it's not that big of a deal.
No, it is. I do think that when somebody only has photos with other people, especially if it's like other women, automatically I assume that either one, these are all exes, or two, you only have girlfriends. And I'm sorry, but if you only have girlfriends, why aren't they dating you?
Yeah.
What's the story there? Why are you undateable?
If there's anything I've learned from Love is Blind, it's
Sure.
that girlfriends of men most of the time are never an innocent thing.
Right.
I just don't trust it. Like
I think most of the time you're right. Yeah.
There's probably a few instances where there's an exception to the rule, but most of the time I just don't trust it.
I don't trust that either. And that's why I don't have any close guy friends that I hang out with all the time or anything. I have like exactly one guy friend and he lives across the country. And like, yeah, we talk a lot, but we never hang out.
Right.
We never
And then
hang
like
out.
you could say Roy's your guy friend, but at the same time, he's
he's
first and
like,
foremost my husband.
Yeah, he's also kind of related to me.
Right.
It feels like he's related to me.
Kind of your cousin, kind of your guy friend, and also my husband. Like,
right.
That you put that title above
and
your
we also
friendship.
Never hang out without you.
That's true.
That would be weird.
It's like three of us.
Despite the fact that I've known him literally my entire life. I've known him since I was before I could walk and talk.
Yeah, he was around for a few months before you were around.
Yeah, before I was around, like, and then we just appeared in each other's lives. But even now, I'm not hanging out with him alone. And if we do, I'm like, what's up, dude?
It's like you're waiting for me to get there.
Like literally, it's us in the waiting room of a doctor's office is what it feels like.
And when me and my now husband Roy, like I've mentioned his name before. If you guys don't know his name by now, then what are you doing?
Roy, figure it
out. But yeah, when we first started seeing each other, he had a couple of friends like that were his girlfriends, quote unquote, and they were all, and by all there was one I'm particularly thinking of, possessive of him and tried to get in between our relationship constantly.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a story about that later.
Yeah. Maybe off the mic, but yeah, and it always puts a wedge in a relationship with someone that you're trying to like actually build a relationship with. So yeah, that's
even though that person was never trying to have a relationship with him,
they just,
which is bizarre.
They just wanted attention.
Yeah,
that's
which
what
is
it is.
It's so bizarre because I know the one guy friend that I have. I am such an advocate for him finding a girlfriend that I'm like, somebody please date my friend.
Right.
In fact, if you're listening and you're a single lady and
you
you're
might
nice,
not want, you don't want kids. Is that the guy?
And you don't, and you don't want kids.
He doesn't want kids.
Boy, do I have a guy for you.
Let me tell you.
He's so lovely. He's such a darling boy, and he's man. I want him so badly to find somebody.
Right.
But also, I want him to find somebody more importantly that has a very nice brother for me.
Right,
Well, I'm like, does she have a brother or no?
We're trying to create the circle of trust.
But no, I am such an advocate for him finding somebody, and I am always cheering him on. And I always am like, maybe if I ever come across somebody, I'll like whatever. And so I think it's so weird when girls or women or whatever are so like protective or so like I'm gonna get in between. I'm like, what are you doing right now?
Right.
For what? Why?
Right.
What's your motive?
Unless they're like being emotionally abused or something.
Right.
There's a reason. There should be no reason why a good friend of yours, should be taken away. Or not taken away, but like you should be taking away their time and attention from someone they're trying to build something with. Like that's so yeah, anyway, all that to say like that when I see another woman in a profile picture, that's where my mind goes. And I'm like, nope, like, I can't.
Right. Specify it then.
Yeah.
If that's your sister or whatever.
Right.
Specify that.
Can you caption photos in apps?
You can on certain ones, I think, but you
Okay.
can also just put it in your bio.
Yeah, that's true. The photo, like,
girl in my photo is my sister or whatever.
Yeah. Like,
most times you can tell, too.
Photo number 3, my sister or whatever.
That girl's my sister. Like, if you have more than one girl in your photos,
what are you doing?
hang it up, dude.
What are you doing?
What's happening right now? So, yeah, no, I agree. That's definitely a red flag for me, too, is somebody who has a lot of girlfriends. Because I'm like, how would you feel if I had a lot of guy friends?
Right.
Well, how would you feel if I had a lot of single guy friends?
Right. And, like,
come on.
That's my main friends.
And that's my core group of friends.
Right.
And they're all single guys. How would you feel about that?
Yeah.
I would not feel great about
Most
that.
men wouldn't like that.
I would feel weird if I had a friend that was a girl that had a mainly dude friend. I'd be like, what?
Be friends with that girl.
I think I'd be like, hey, are you well? Do you need a girlfriend?
Yeah, I've always said that. Like,
and in my experience, also, the girls that do only have guy friends, which when I was younger, I will say, when I was like in my late teens, early 20s, I did have mainly guy friends. I hadn't found that group of girls yet. I did have 1 to 2 girlfriends. They were okay. Mm-hmm. But I did not have that core group of girls.
You didn't find your soulmate girls yet?
Not until I was a little bit older. And then like once I met you and then we started getting closer. And yeah, I got a little bit older. And like my cousin Rocky, she's like another girl that's like,
right.
And you guys are both Scorpio. So makes sense. Maybe that's just, those are my people. Those are my
Taurus
girls.
and Scorpio.
I'm telling you, man. But,
by the way, my daughter's a Taurus.
Yeah, well, I made her a Taurus. I manifested her.
Yeah, you did some
like,
spell.
Yeah, Mal was like, I think she's going to be a Gemini or a Cancer. And I was like, not on my watch.
She's coming, what was it, 6 weeks early?
Yeah, Evie was like, no. I know. I remember when we were talking about that and I was like, dude, Gemini? Ew.
I know, Gemini scared me because, so Gemini and Scorpios usually don't get along very well.
And
because
we've seen it firsthand, by the way.
Yeah, I've like experienced it firsthand because there was someone in my past that I just worked with for a while, and that person was a great person in a lot of ways, but just a lot. Like,
yeah, we just didn't mesh.
And I never knew what to expect.
Yeah.
It was just like too chaotic for me.
Sure.
And also I've heard like Geminis can be psychos, like can murder and stuff. So I was like, I don't want my daughter to be a murderer.
When I think that can be true of any. Well, I guess
no.
not,
there's like statistics.
I was gonna say not statistically true.
Yeah.
But I think that there are certain signs that get along well, and certain ones that don't get along well. And I think that Gemini is definitely a sign that I don't get along well with, and you don't, obviously. But Scorpio is somebody that my best guy friend, also Jason. Also Scorpio.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
he's also a Scorpio. So my 3 besties literally in life, all Scorpios.
That's crazy.
And every single person that I've ever dated that has been the absolute worst, Libra.
just throwing that one out there.
And just throwing that one out there. So if you're a Libra listening to this, get away from me.
And it's so wild because I don't think I know any Libras besides through you.
Yeah,
it's like you're a weird
welcome.
Magnet for them.
Yeah,
but for no reason because you don't like them.
And I do have a couple girlfriends. I think 1 or 2 girlfriends that are Libras that are absolutely wonderful.
Right.
And they're the best, and they're my favorite people in the world.
They're like the exception to the rule.
Yeah, they're the exception exactly. And I think it might be the September women Libras. I don't know. I'll have to like do more diving into it. But yeah, almost it's so crazy because I remember I actually did like a dive into it once. And I was like, wait, Libra, wait a minute. No, Libra? What?
Yeah, it was like,
it was crazy.
You just kept finding out everyone that's wronged you in Libra. And you're like, what's happening?
It was so bizarre. I was like, what is happening? And yeah, it was crazy. But it's funny how the zodiac signs kind of like play into it and how like you start realizing, oh my God, wait, there's a pattern here.
It's crazy like how you can't. It's like, how can you not believe in it a little bit? There's like so much pattern with it, you know, like there has to be some validity to some of it. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, that's how I feel. And
when I know I'm saying like me and you believe in a lot of this for sure, but I'm saying like people that might not.
I think it's crazy for people to denounce anything that has to do with spirituality or has
the
to do with
alignments of things.
Yeah, I mean, it has to do with nature. It has to do with Earth. It has to do with things that we see in
universe.
everyday life. Yeah, and I think
I
that
hate talking about the universe,
even if you don't believe in every single thing that happens, I don't expect anybody to. I don't think anybody should believe in every single little thing. You know, if I think that if a card flips over and it says this, I don't think you need to necessarily believe it. No. But I do think that there is something behind it that might make you feel a certain way, might steer you a certain way.
I feel like it's like kind of that thing. I don't know if whoever's listening to this, if you believe this or not, but it's like when people say like things happen for a reason. In some ways that saying pisses me off, but in other ways I think it's kind of true. Like certain things maybe don't happen for a reason, but they happen, and it's, if you take it in a certain way, it's going to help you understand something, or it's going to, help you heal, or it's going to help you realize something. It's maybe it doesn't happen for a reason, but however you take that card or you take that situation or whatever, it's how you process it that can help you or hinder you, I guess. Yeah.
I think that some people take that saying a little too far sometimes. We're like, well, everything happens for a reason. Like, you know what? I don't think I want to hear that when something catastrophic happens in my life. That's not the right thing to say. But I do think that karmically, I do think that things happen for a reason, and I'm never saying that in response to like a really horrible thing that's happened. I'm saying that more like in general.
Like you're talking about like losing someone that you love, right? Whether it be a death or a breakup or whatever. That's, I would say pretty unarguably one of the worst things someone can go through.
That's not the time that you say,
but you don't
everything
say
happens
that.
for me. You'd be like, I'm so sorry.
Right. But at the same time, once you get over the grief, because grief happens whether it's a death or not, like there is something that you can take from that situation. Right. For sure. But we're getting really deep right now, so let's go back. Let's take a sip of wine and cleanse the palate.
Let's cleanse our palate really quick. But no, I think that, and I mean, I've said this before. I feel like I'm karma for a lot of those Libras. I feel like I come into a Libra's life for karmic justice for them, and then I leave their life, and then I end up finding out that something detrimental happened to their lives, and I'm like, did I do that? Was that me? Did I do that? And it's just like, oops, sorry. I remember, which actually my ex was not a Libra. He was a Cancer.
The most recent one? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a Cancer, and we broke up, and I remember him telling me about like his update on life, and I was just like, sorry. I'm not wishing anything on any of you guys. I'm not putting a hex on any of you guys. I don't do hexes.
You know what's crazy though? This is why me and Stephanie are actually witches. The past couple of times we've been a little bit annoyed with someone or upset about something. We've learned some things that have happened to them. We're like, whoa, maybe we should stop.
I think we focus our energy a little bit because we love to beat a dead horse.
We do.
And because we love to beat a dead horse, we're just speaking a lot of things into the universe, and we kind of just talk about it, and, nature hears us, earth hears us, and we just speak a lot of things. We talk a lot about it, and then we found out that things have happened. We're like, oh shit, maybe we should calm down.
Maybe we should chill.
Maybe we should chill.
Maybe we've been doing too many moon rituals and things.
And then no. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole karmic thing that we were talking about. But
yeah. The next thing was the red flag. What other red flags are you coming across?
Red flags. As far as when I come across dating apps, I'm trying to think of
being.
Oh, if there's no bio, if there is no bio filled out, why are you here?
Like, you can't think of like a couple sentences that can make me laugh, make me be intrigued. Like, what's happening?
So me and my friend were talking about this earlier, and he was like, if a girl doesn't have a bio written, my thought is that she thinks she's too hot to have a bio, and she thinks guys are going to swipe on her because of her looks. And I was like, that's so funny, because I think the exact same thing about guys. Whenever a guy does not have a bio, it's usually a guy that's attractive. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, girls are just going to swipe on me because I'm hot. I'm like, I don't care how fucking hot you are. If you have no personality, what am I going to do with you?
That is a guy looking for a quick bang.
Yeah, and that's so boring to me. Because
there's, and I feel like there's apps for that specifically. Like, if you want a quick lay, go on a quick lay app. if you want to find a relationship, that's what like certain other apps are for. And I feel like you're not usually on the quick lay apps. You're on the
Definitely
more
not on quick lay apps.
serious apps. So it's like, why are you on this app if you're not gonna put a bio up and you just want a quick bang? Like,
well, and I am on Tinder, which arguably Tinder I think has always been infamous for being the hookup app. However, I feel like as of lately, it's not been used for that.
Kind of coming back.
It's kind of coming back.
That's when I was on it.
Yeah.
When I said I was like kind of when Tinder first started. It was like a couple years after it first started is when I was on it.
Me too.
And it was.
I felt my longest relationship on Tinder.
Yeah, and it wasn't as let's just have a quick bang.
Right.
It was.
There was a period of time where that's what it was for.
People looking for relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. It's coming back around now.
Yeah. Well, so I met my ex on Tinder. But yeah, I've been on it more often. And I think I like it personally because I know on Bumble, the girl has to message first.
Yeah.
And I don't like that because I feel like a lot of guys are using that for validity. They're using it because they just want to know that a girl is interested in them. I think it's boring.
That's true. I feel like I could see a girl liking or swiping on you first, and then you have the opportunity to swipe and message first.
Right.
But the girl having to message first,
it's gross.
As much as I am all for a matriarchal society,
yeah.
all for women power, all for all those things, no, like anti-misogyny, whatever. I think it's very attractive.
Dude, it's so sexy when a guy reaches out
when
first,
a man
when a guy takes charge.
Yeah.
And that's why on Bumble I can't do this, but on Tinder I have on my profile that if you message me first, you get brownie points. I don't know what those brownie points are going towards yet, but I know that you get them.
Right.
And for me, if you can't even message me first, what else can't you do?
Right.
You know, because I want to say that with everybody knowing that I have very often been the person that has planned everything, done everything. She's done way too much, guys.
I've
done way too much for too many guys. And now I just want to find somebody that wants to not take care of me financially, but take care of me emotionally, that wants to court me. That wants to
take care of your woman in every other way besides financially.
Yeah, I don't need your money. I have my own.
Right.
What I need you to do is buy me flowers and take me out to dinner.
Right.
Like that's it. That's all I'm looking for.
Take care of her when she's having an emotional day. Take care of her.
Be there for me
when she, needs a friend and wants to laugh.
If I'm having a bad day, I'd like you to ask me why my day is bad, and ask me what you can do to make it better.
And when there's a date night, fucking plan it.
And you plan it.
And
hey, when it's my birthday, maybe plan something.
Right.
Instead of being like, hey, what do you want to do for your birthday?
Every woman. Like, I have a great husband, and he's amazing in almost every way. But even him, and I feel like most men kind of fall short with the mental load.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole thing that we can get into in some other day, maybe. But women are constantly worrying about everything. We're worrying about our friends, our families, our personal lives, our money, our house, our kids, or whatever it is. We're worrying about everything. We're planning every single day down to the hour. We're constantly thinking about like, oh, how can I make my husband's life, or how can I make my boyfriend's life easier, or how can I help whatever my friend. Our brain is going all of the time. So the least you could do as a man is just fucking plan a date and tell us when to be ready.
Dude, and that's so hot.
Tell us how to dress.
Yeah. Oh my God. If a guy plans a date and says, wear this.
Yeah.
Yes. I will do that.
Panties dropping.
I will do that. Absolutely. You want me to wear the one thing? I'm going to wear the one thing.
Yeah. Like,
I have one less decision to make today. Even better. And I think that's
so attractive.
It is so attractive. And I think that kind of plays into what we had talked about earlier, is the whole, what I have on my dating profile is that I nonchalant doesn't work for me. I don't like nonchalant, and my ex was like that, and I've dated multiple people like that, where it's almost like they want to pretend like they don't like you.
Right. Like, I'm too cool
to like
put
you.
my time and effort into this.
Right. I'm too cool to let you know that I'm super into you. And I know that that's a front, because the way that my ex acted in certain situations, like, I know that you wanted me, but you didn't act like it.
Right.
So don't sit here and be surprised that I'm leaving you when you don't act like it.
Right.
Like, I want you to, as cheesy as it is, I want you to want me.
Right.
I want you to act like you want me around, act like you need me around, act like you want me to hang out with you.
Right.
And I think it's so boring when somebody acts like they're not into you. Like, okay, so then why am I here? Because there's 1,000 other guys.
It's like
lined up. I don't have a roster, but I do have a line.
Maybe that worked when we were in our early 20s. And
Right.
all of us girls,
Which was toxic.
Yeah, all of us girls, maybe we craved the
That was the negging thing that happened back in the day.
Negging.
Yeah.
And we craved the attention, like we were competitive for whatever reason. But
it was a whole different thing back then, where it was like a pick-me society back then.
It was different.
And I am the first one to admit I was such a fucking pick-me, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't really.
You were never like that. No, you were never like that.
But I did play into the whole I wanted men to want me.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Like
it was so different back then.
I didn't care if I was a bitch to them.
Yeah.
But I wanted them to want me.
Right. Well, and that was the whole thing back then, is that like it was so different from now, where now the whole girl power is, which back then girl power was preached, but not in the same way.
It was like
now.
talked about, but it wasn't practiced.
Yeah, especially like now, where you have platforms and you have creators that have built their entire platform based on girls and girl power and girls this and women this. And I think it's awesome. I think it's beautiful. I wish we would have had that when we were younger.
Yeah.
When we were younger, it was very much women were pitted against each other.
Yeah.
And I think it was very much like, how do I get this guy's attention? And yeah, I think you're right. It was very like a guy treated us a certain way. We wanted to have his attention. We wanted him. How do I get this guy to like me?
Yeah.
Whereas now, and I don't know if that's a generational thing or it's an age thing.
It might be a little bit of both.
I think you're right. I think it might be a little bit of both, because I think now, because I've seen this on TikTok where girls are like, I'm under 25. If you're older than 25, what advice do you have? And almost every single comment is like, leave him,
right,
leave him.
If that thought comes across your mind, should I leave him?
Leave him.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I will say I am so happy about, being at the age that I am, I guess in the year that I am, and like where I am at life, is that I can leave somebody if I don't align with them, or if they are treating me a certain way. And I think that a lot of women in the past have not had that opportunity. Yeah. And I think they love seeing us women have that opportunity. And I wish more women knew they have that opportunity. Yeah. That you don't have to.
No.
And you know what? I don't want to say that, because maybe some women do, and I understand it, and I'm not advocating against that. I'm not saying that, like, whatever. But I've had the opportunity, and I'm so lucky and grateful that, like, any guy that has ever treated me even halfway wrong, it might have taken me a long time to notice it.
Well, in the past.
Better, yeah. I've gotten a lot better about it. My most recent ex, I got out of that real fucking quick. Yeah. But I started to like, and I recognize it fast now, where I'm like, no, you're treating me like that already? Yeah. That's crazy. Absolutely not.
It's not just a simple game of cat and mouse anymore like it used to be when we were young. Yeah. It's like, if you're going to play a game with me, I don't know if I have the patience to play this game. Like,
it's exhausting.
It's not worth it to end up with a mediocre man to play a fucking game. Like,
that's the thing too. It's always a mid man. It's always a mid fucking dude. I always like to say it's a rat faced fuck that likes to play in your face and likes to pretend like they don't like you. Pretend like you're not the best thing that's ever walked into their lives. Right. Pretend like you're not the hottest thing that's ever given them attention.
Literally. There's been many instances where I'm like, that's what your boy you're talking to looks like. I know, it's so bad. And they treated you like that.
And they treated you like shit. Not only are they ugly, but they're mean. Biggest struggle.
Yeah, and it's like wild to me, because, I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but I think you're hot. And I think you're funny and nice and thoughtful and fun to hang out with. And it's like, what the fuck are these boys doing? I don't understand.
It's so bad. And I think that's something that as I got older, I started kind of realizing about myself. And it's something in the last few months I've been trying to get better about. especially after my last breakup, is that I've been trying to not be humble. I've been trying to like be more like, bitch, you have this. Like,
Yeah.
you're attractive.
More proud of
and
yourself.
Yeah, you have a good job, and you have good friends, and you have this, and you have your health, and you have so many wonderful things that you're surrounded by. And it's crazy for you to think for a second that you don't have any of those things, or that like you should feel less about it.
Yeah.
Or make myself feel less about it, because that's a habit that I have.
Right. It's almost like it's like our millennial brains or something decide to overlook all the good things about us and focus on the one little thing that's like not going well right now.
Right. Like, oh yeah, I know I have all those things, but I haven't been eating super well.
Or like I've gotten compliments recently about I've lost some weight recently, and people like compliment me and I'm like, oh, thanks, I guess. So it just feels like I know I've lost weight, but I haven't been doing a ton to do that. It's just been like eating habits, basically. I haven't been working out. I haven't been like working really hard. It's just like I haven't been eating as much.
Right.
So I just feel like weird taking that compliment. And then like with my art that I've been just getting back into with this, this venture we're doing, and whatever I'm doing creatively, I get compliments and I'm like, but I'm like, I just started.
And I know you're like that, which is crazy, because I remember the first time you showed me the artwork for the podcast, and I was like, dude, what? I was like, you did this by hand, which is crazy to me, because I can't do anything. So seeing that you did this by hand was really cool. And I saw the sketch work from the beginning, and originally what you did was actually more detailed than what you put out, and you ended up like simplifying it more. So you're capable of doing really cool stuff, and to you're like, well, that's like whatever. And I'm like, dude, no, people can't do that. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah, I guess it's just like anything else. You compare yourself to people around you, and you think like, I get that. It's okay, but I've seen what this person can do. And with anything, it's like,
well, you're being humble.
Right.
And you're being humble because that's how we grew up.
Or it's like how you feel like, oh, I have a house, I have all these things, but like I'm not married. Right. And it's like, but that's one little thing. Like, that's not a big deal. It's not going to make or break who you are as a person. So yeah, it's the same thing.
Right. It's a thing that like, I think we were, and I don't know if it's a millennial thing. I don't know if it's I don't know what kind of a thing it is, but I feel like we were raised to feel like that, or I don't know at what point. And I don't know if this is a woman thing. I don't know if it's a man thing. I don't know if it's a generational thing. Yeah. But I do feel like I have always tried to make myself smaller. Yeah. Especially in relationships, where I tried to make myself less than the man, because I never want to seem more successful than him. Right. And it wasn't until this last relationship that I was like, no, I am fucking cool. I do have friends, and I do have a cool family, and I do have good health, and and I'm sorry if that sucks for you. Like, I'm sorry, but I have a really cool life, and I love my life, and I love what I do. And if you don't fit into that, then I'll see you later.
Are you going to add to that? Yeah. Or are you going to make me feel less for that?
Right. And that's something that I was really bad at for a really long time. And I think you really helped me feel that. You really helped me like realize that, like, dude, you're this. Right. This is what you are.
Well, that's something I never had. I've talked about this with a couple of girlfriends over the years. I've always had a career, but I've never made a ton of money with it. Like, I've always, just brought in a little bit. When I was making the most money I've ever made, I made barely enough to survive. So that thus is the life of a creative, type of career. I know some hairstylists and whatever, they can make tons of money, but you know what they're doing? They're working crazy hours. They're working near the city. They're charging a lot for their services. I was working in barely a suburb anymore of Chicago. Like, it's like basically the sticks. And so my clientele, they're not rich. And I was working as much as I could, trying to up my clientele, but I just wasn't able to make that much money. So seeing Stephanie and other girlfriends of mine that aren't married being able to buy their own fucking house, that's so cool. Like, that's the coolest thing you could ever do. So yeah, I always try to like reiterate to her, like, you're amazing. Like you can literally support yourself. Like that's super cool. Like you don't need a 2-income household. You can do this.
And I think it's definitely one of those like grass is greener on the other side type of things where it's like I see Mal that has, you know, a husband and a baby and has all these like cool milestones that I wish that I had hit at this point. We kind of, and that's why I always say we're at very different points of our life, but
we're both accomplished in our own ways.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's super cool. And I think that when it comes to meeting guys, I think you telling me about all that and putting it into perspective, like, no, you need to find somebody who's going to add to your life, and I think seeing you and Roy has been really helpful for me too, seeing how you guys are and how you complement each other.
Right, because he's never pressured me to get a different job and make more money. He's always been like, I'm okay being the main moneymaker because you do this, and this for our family, and you make the house a home, and you help me, you know.
Which a lot of guys say that they want. Right. But at the end of the day, they don't.
Expect you to bring
They want you to work. Yeah, they want you to work
yeah.
while also doing all of that.
Which is fine. Like, I'm not saying that splitting the income is...
Splitting the income is fine, but you have to split the chores too.
Right. Then then the man has to...
Right. Then you have to come home from work and also do stuff.
Right. And yeah, so I always commend all my girls that I know that are doing it on their own. And I think it's like the same thing. It's like, we both see the good in each other's lives, but we forget about the good in our own, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's different coming from a friend than it is coming from a family member, because I think family-wise, I've always felt like I need to find somebody. I need to find a husband. I need to find somebody that, you know, I can settle down, have a family with and everything. And I understand why. I completely understand where they're coming from and why they want that for me. But at the same time, it is refreshing hearing, yes, maybe you want to find somebody you want to settle down with, but make sure that they like compliment you. And my parents are really good about that. My parents are really good about being like, don't settle for anybody.
Right.
Because, you know, they raise somebody who is independent and they know who I am. They know that I'm not somebody that needs anybody. I spend the holidays alone because I like being alone.
They want you to have someone, and I'm the same way. I want you to find your person. But I would rather you be single than be with a dick or a terrible person or someone that doesn't make you happy.
Right. Rather than somebody that's going to make you feel alone. That's somebody that's going to make you feel shitty. And that's what happened in my last relationships and in past relationships. And not all of them, but in a lot of them where I have felt alone or I felt like I'm bothering them. I don't want to feel like I'm bothering you as a significant other. Like, I feel like it should be like, you should be like my best friend. It should be like you. Yeah. Where if I text you, I don't ever feel like I'm bothering you.
No. And that's how I am with my husband.
I'll triple text you. I'll quadruple text you.
and that's why I always tell her too. I'm like, make sure he's your best friend first and foremost. Because I can literally sob and, you know, puke all over myself and like not shower for 5 days. And my husband will still be there to take care of me and love me and be there for me. And that's what you don't need to have someone that you have to like pretend around and like change yourself for and you know, be worried, oh, they're not going to see me with makeup on or, you know, like those things. Like that's not your person.
Right. And I think that kind of goes back to the whole like nonchalant thing that we were talking about where I feel like if a man is so into you, he's going to be okay with all of those things. And he's going to be so into you and he's going to plan things for you and he's going to be there for you and he's going to do all of that. And like, I think most women want a guy that is not nonchalant, be chalant. I want you to be chalant around me. Yeah. I want you to be obsessed with me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want you to be obsessed with me because you know me, not because you think you know me or you saw a photo of me and now you're obsessed with me. That's not the same
Well,
thing.
there's a difference between the context we're using obsessed in. Like, I want you to be obsessed with me in a way where if I'm in a relationship with you or we're just starting to date or whatever, like, be obsessed with me and like, all you do is think about how you can make me happy and how you can help me emotionally, like how you want to like ravage my body later, and how, like, that's the kind of obsessed. Not like, oh, I started texting this person, I'm gonna text them 1,000 times for no reason.
Right. Which
that's not the right type of obsessed.
Right. I don't want you to, and that's the thing, is that like it kind of feels like a parasocial type of relationship where you talk to me very little. You've seen 5 photos of me on a dating app, and now all of a sudden you're in love with me. You don't know anything about me, which my thing, because I used to do cosplay and people used to know me by my alias and everything, is I used to be like, you don't like me. You might have a crush on me, but you do not like me.
Right.
You're not into me because you don't even know me. You don't even know my real name.
Right.
You don't even know my last name. What do you mean you're into me? You don't know anything about me.
You like how I look in some photos.
You like how I look in photos, and you like the fact that I like things, which I like everything. And this is something that I was actually telling my mom recently, is I was like, I think the reason why I get along, every single person that I match with that gives me the time of day, I'm like, oh my God, we have this in common. We have this in common. I'm like, I think that's because I like everything.
Right.
I like everything.
There's very few things you shit on.
Yeah, I don't not like very few things. It's like, I like anime. I like movies. I like TV shows. I like music. I like a little bit of everything. Yeah. There's very few things that I'm like, hey, that sucks. Yeah. And even if I do, I'm like, maybe change my mind. I don't know. And
I feel like the things, if I can think of one thing, maybe hunting.
Ah, dude, hunting fucking sucks.
Killing cute animals.
Here's my thing, though, is that if you hunt and you use all the meat,
if you hunt,
I understand that.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. If you hunt respectfully,
right,
and
you're not just killing to kill, you're killing because you're gonna use every part of it.
And it's like, I know there's like certain areas with certain species that they're like overrunning and like overbreeding and
if it's an ethical thing,
that's okay,
right?
But oh my God, I just came across this story on TikTok. I don't know if I should tell you. No, I'm gonna tell you. It's kind of sad, but it was like this beautiful story about this wolf in Yellowstone, and they were following this. They follow all the wolf packs in Yellowstone or whatever. I think it was Yellowstone. It was one of the national parks. And this was about a female wolf, and she was like, you know, in a pack, but then she decided to go on her own. She started her own pack, and it was a really cool story about how this wolf like basically became like the leader of her own pack. And then I guess like one point she like wandered barely out of the borders of the protected Yellowstone, shot and killed. A lot of the comments were like, that's disgusting awful. That a hunter would sit right outside the borderlines of a national protected park.
That is gross.
That's like, why? Like, that's a beautiful endangered animal.
It's a weird thing to sit there. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. Anyway.
That is really sad, though.
I know. I'm sorry.
Like that. Hey.
I'm sorry.
Hey. Hey.
Just drink a little wine.
Hey,
it's fine.
I don't like that.
But
I drove back from Mal's house the other day, and there was a deer on the side of the road. Oh, yeah. She was hit. And I told Mal, I was like, I cried the entire way back. Oh, by the way, 3.5 minutes that it took me to get back from your house. I cried all 3.5 minutes because I was so sad by it. Because, I was keeping my eyes peeled for that one missing cat in the neighborhood. And I saw a pair of eyes. And I was like, oh my God. And it was a deer. And I was like, hey, I don't like that.
Sometimes I'll notice roadkill, and I will purposely like,
you gotta create a backstory,
not look at it and be like, it's fine, like
she's sleeping,
it's fine. Not real.
That's totally fine. It's so bad.
That's why like the main thing that I don't really like when people do, but like I said, certain circumstances where I can understand it, but
like I said, even then I understand it,
right?
So I get it. There's not a lot of things, there's very, very few things that I don't like, that I shit on. And I feel like I have a very broad view.
You're an open-minded person.
Yeah, I think so.
And you enjoy that people enjoy things.
So this is not my dating podcast. This is me. This is actually just me putting out my dating profile.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hey. And I think that's why I resonate with so many people. And I think that's why it's so easy for me to get along with so many people. But at the same time, not really a great thing, because then I get along with some people and I'm like, oh.
Right.
Ugh.
Right. I think there's a difference too, because I am the same way, where I enjoy a lot of stuff. Yeah. I enjoy a lot of different people, but I also, if you're going to be a dick around me, whether you're a man or a woman, I don't enjoy that. Hey. That's one thing I don't enjoy. So I just, I invite as many people in as you do, because I don't trust as easily.
Yeah.
And I don't, and not even trust, because I know you do keep your trust, you know, a little more closed off than you used to, but like, I don't even want to put my energy into it, I guess.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I do be putting my energy in weird spaces. But yeah, no, it's, I'm trying my best out here. And I think because I'm trying to be more picky and I'm trying to be like, this is who I am and this is what I like. And if that's not what you're into, then cool.
Right.
And I'm trying to be pickier.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these guys are still figuring it out according to their profiles, so which is disgusting. The second I see still figuring it out, I'm like, no.
That's a red flag.
What do you mean? What are you doing?
What is there to figure out?
What are you figuring out at your ripe age? Like, it's nice that you don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pros to being married. I mean, there's obviously cons too, but it maybe not so much anymore. But I remember the first few years of being married, it was kind of hard because I didn't have a lot of friends that were married. I felt like, oh, I'm not single anymore, so I don't like belong with my friends, you know? And most of my good friends didn't really make me feel that way, but there was a handful that did. And it just made me feel like, oh, so since I'm married, I have to like find new friends. I don't know. It just was weird, but there's also hard parts of it too. Like marriage is great, but it's work, you know, it's work. My husband's a great guy, but it's work. And he could probably say the same thing about me. But I do not envy anyone having to date in this day and age. I don't, because I'm very lucky to have met my husband in real life and dated him in real life. We never really dated or like talked through apps or even texting. Like we barely were texters. It was just real life hanging out and real life getting to know each other. And there were a lot of ups and downs in the beginning, but I would take that over dating on apps these days, to be real.
It's not great, let me tell you. It is not great. Not a big fan. All right, I think we did a pretty good job of wrapping that up.
Are we gonna put that to rest?
I think we should probably put that one to rest. We can cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening. Cheers. We'll talk to you guys later. Actually, you know what? All right, I want to take a moment to send a heartfelt thanks to everyone that has donated and shown us just such incredible support. Your encouragement has been both motivating and just extremely instrumental in helping us bring this super fun dream and adventure to life. And we're just so excited and beyond excited, actually, to start the journey. So a few special thank yous to Samantha, Chiblet, Darth Silent Bob, Dave M., Jess Bagel, who has a health and wellness journal available now at colorcodedcookie.com, Katie Edward, who wrote Call on Me and is one of the few books that I've actually finished and loved and read and everything in the last year and a half, Dustin, aka Wicked Warrior, your face and body painting skills never failed to amaze me, dude. You're doing incredible. Our beautiful friends, Gloria and Joanna, Tim, Mauricio Ormachea, Greg, Squeegee, my friend Jason Abadi. Thank you for validating my thoughts while I navigate dating men. I appreciate you always listening to me yap. My Lavender in Life, Oz, who helped keep me grounded during one of the harder times in my life. To my wonderful family, my Uncle Chris and his wife Letty, my incredible cousins, Eric and Chingona. You guys are always cheering me on. My parents, Mallory's husband, Roy, who I also consider to be my family. Your unwavering support just absolutely means the world to us. And then finally to Mallory, you listened to me talk about a dream out loud, about starting a podcast. And not only did you encourage me to take the leap, but you took it with me. And I mean, you're my best friend and I love you. And I couldn't imagine doing this with anybody else. So thank you guys again for listening, for being here, for supporting us and encouraging us. And we will catch you on the next one.